How many of you understood the deep meaning of being silent or keeping quiet? He conveys the message of peace and tranquility. So what is the difference between quiet and quiet? What is the difference? Without any discrimination, without having any bad thoughts in ourselves, without thinking that we are the superior power. Remember, every word, every line becomes very important. Hello students and welcome to the Prep School English classes. Today's topic, Poem 3 from your Flamingo textbook, Keeping Quiet. It has been very common. You keep hearing from your principal, teacher and class leader in a classroom or around your campus when they say, keep quiet, silence please, no noise. How many of you understood the true meaning? How many of you realized and were serious? What does keeping quiet mean? It would just go above your heads and you would keep silence for just a second or two, isn't it? Silence is golden. Speech is silver. Silence is the most powerful weapon. Silence is the source of one's strength. Silence speaks million words. A simple example that will stay in your memory, or a lovely example that you're going to carry it throughout the journey of your life, is the present testing time. During this pandemic, did we not, all of us, stay in a lockdown period for weeks and months together? What did we learn? What did we realize? We learned that we saw a new world. We realized that we are the disturbance to the present life on this earth. We understood that we have to share the world. We have to share the universe with our coexisting animals, birds and plants. We understood that we are our own destroyers. We discovered something new in us, isn't it? So please understand that keeping quiet or being in silence or being calm has got a deep meaning. There is depth in the word quiet or silence. So what is the poem Keeping Quiet all about? I will be discussing today the most common thing to every poem. In all my poems, I have told you all, I will be discussing the poet. Who is the poet? What are the poetic devices? What is the theme and the title? And what does the message the poem gives us, isn't it? So we need to know the poet, poetic devices, the theme and the title and the message, which becomes an important part of learning. So let's see who is the poet of the poem Keeping Quiet. The poet Pablo Neruda. He was a poet, a diplomat and a politician. Along with being a poet, he was a diplomat and also a politician. He had won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So what does he say in this poem? In this poem, he conveys the message of peace and tranquility. He tells us that being calm and being quiet or being silent, it helps everybody who lives around us. He says being quiet becomes an exotic moment of our life. Moving forward, let's see what is the difference between quiet and quiet. Of course, it is not a part of your poem or it is not a part where you are testing when it comes to your examination. But in general, I have always seen as a teacher that my students have had a confusion while they write or while they speak or while they connect the meaning of quiet and quiet. So let's go a little detail to understand these two special words, quiet and quiet. Look at this. He is quite nervous. She is quite happy. Or if you look at this, he is a quiet boy. He is a quiet boy. Let me have a quiet word with them. So what is the difference between quiet and quiet? What is the difference? Understand that when you say he is quite nervous, you are using it as an adverb. You are using quiet as an adverb. What does it mean here? It means completely, extremely, or at the greatest extent. Did you understand that? And when you say he is a quiet boy, you are describing, you are using a adjective. You are using a adjective. So what does this quiet mean here? It means silence. It means restraint. It means subdued. It means with no sound. So being quiet boy is you are describing a boy, and here you are using an adverb when you say that he is nervous. He is quite nervous. Now have a look at it. Which one will you choose? Which is the right option here? I am quite sure. I am quite sure. Which is the correct form of quiet here? It is I am quite sure. In the same way, look at this. When I say quiet as a mouse, quiet as a mouse, what is correct? It is quiet as a mouse. So this being the difference of quiet and quiet, it is important that you know this little difference so that going ahead, never will you do a mistake while you spell out or you connect or you try to say when it is related to this word quiet and quiet. Moving forward to the theme of the poem, I told you that the poem is all about keeping silence or keeping quiet or keeping calm. That brings a lot of peace, not only to oneself, but to the people around, to the entire world. It stops a lot of frustrations. It stops a lot of disturbance. So, let's look at the theme here. The theme of the poem is you need to maintain peace and silence. You need to maintain peace and silence for a better world. Then it stresses on being calm. You should not be panic. You shouldn't be aggressive. You shouldn't revolt. You shouldn't fight back. You always need to stay calm to bring a lot of peace around you, isn't it? Then to be harmless to animals, human beings and environment. We have no right to disturb the animals or the environment or the birds. We have no right to kill an animal or to destroy a tree or even a small plant. We have to take care of our environment and to maintain peace and harmony always. Don't make small things grow big and don't create a disturbance. Always maintain peace and harmony with no fights, no battles and no wars. So you have to maintain peace and harmony. The last one is to stop and introspect ourselves. At times, you need to stop at a certain phase in between to understand or introspect yourself deep inside whether you're being right, whether you're being perfect, or are you going wrong anywhere? Are you a disturbance to someone? Are you being a nuisance or are you being a menace for somebody's life? You need to stop and think and realize before moving forward every possible time. So this being the theme of the poem, being calm and maintain peace and harmony. Let's move forward to have an overview of the poem. What is the poem all about? What is the tone of the poet? And what are the poetic devices? So, the tone of the poet, I told you, throughout every line in the poem, it speaks about only calm and being in peace. So, calm throughout. And what does the poet, what does he want to tell us? He wants to tell us that be still and be in peace. Once again, be still means, it doesn't mean to say that you just stay still and do nothing. No, he says that you be calm. So that being the tone of the poet, let's see what is the central idea of the poem. The central idea is universal brotherhood and peace. By understanding one's own self, by getting deep into knowing what one is, it will help us in a universal brotherhood. It will help all of us to stay united without any fight, without any discrimination, without having any bad thoughts in ourselves, without thinking that we are the superior power. We are authorized to create disturbance to everybody. Letting go all this, we have to learn to be united and bring universal brotherhood. The second one, it urges the people to stop all sorts of aggression. Never to think that whatever one does is perfect. Never to go on an aggressive mode. So this being the central idea, let's look at what is the title. I have told you all, keeping quiet means keeping silent, keeping calm, living in peace. So togetherness and oneness is needed for the survival in this earth, isn't it? Even for the earth to be in peace and even for the earth to survive. Togetherness and feeling of oneness is required in every human being. And it is very important to be silent and to be in still at times. So that being the overview, you understood the tone of the poem as being calm and the central idea is universal brotherhood, and the title says that keeping quiet has got a very deep meaning in bringing in peace to everyone. So moving forward, let's see what are the poetic devices. In my previous poems, My Mother at 66 and an elementary school, I had explained to you all the poetic devices. I suggest if you have not learnt it, once again with a sweet reminder, please rewatch the video and get to know what are poetic devices. Why does a poet use a poetic device? What are the different kinds? With all the required explanation and examples you will find in my previous video. So something new which has come in today is enjambment. Now, what is enjambment? What do you mean by enjambment? Now, it is a kind of a poetic device, a kind of a figure of speech where the poet doesn't pause at the end of a sentence. He does not use any punctuation. He wants to go beyond the line, beyond the sentence in giving it more meaning. In that way, it becomes like more than a poet, it is like a free verse of a prose. So, enjambment means continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond the end of the line or the stanza. I repeat, a line is continued without any pause, means without any punctuation. It goes beyond that line or beyond that stanza. It's like a long story writing. It's like a long prose. So, enjambment is something new that has come up in this poem, and I had not taught or I had not touched upon this poetic device in my previous poems. So, let's look at an example here. in this poem you get to see a line which continues to read, and for once could perhaps a huge silence of threading ourselves with death. So it continues this way without a pause and without a punctuation. So when you're getting into the poem, it's quite evident. Moving forward, all the other poetic devices that appear in this poem, Keeping Quiet, you are quite familiar with it and does not need an explanation once again. Yes, for the ones who have forgotten or not able to recollect, please watch my previous video, Mother at 66 and the elementary school. So have a look at the first one, alliteration, the second one being anaphora, the third one repetition, and the fourth one assonance. Now you will find alliteration, anaphora, repetition and assonance. And for alliteration, these are the poetic devices. These are the words and the phrases which you will find in the poem Keeping Quiet. And for anaphora, these are the ones, and you'll see war as a repeated word. So that is a poetic device. And also for assonance, you will see all these in the. So have a look at the poetic devices present in the poem. So now that you have understood what are the poetic devices in the poem Keeping Quiet, alliteration, repetition, assonance, anaphora, and the new one is enjambment. With this, let's move forward to understand what is the poem Keeping Quiet all about. Dear children, this is where I need your complete attention. Remember, every word, every line becomes very important while you learn the poem from your examination point of view. So, the poem Keeping Quiet. Now that you know what does it mean by saying keeping quiet, be in silence, be in calmness or be in peace, let's see how beautiful the poem looks. When you look at the poem in your textbook pages, it exactly looks like this. It is divided into 5 small paragraphs. So, this is your stanza 1, 2, 3, continue with 4 and 5. So, all through the lines, the poet is only appealing, is only requesting, is making the people understand that take some time, stay still, allow everybody to live in peace, and you also be in peace. That is the whole poem about. So, I will be off screen for a while, stanza wise, with reference to words in context, with the word and the sentence meaning. I am giving you what are the poetic devices. I will be explaining while I am off screen. Once again, I tell y'all, I need your complete attention. So, have a look at the screen. Stanza 1 goes this way. Now, we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once, on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. 12 here is referred to 12 hours in a clock or 12 months in a year. Keep still means keeping calm. The poet here asks everyone to count till 12 in their mind and to stop for a while, to bring unity among all humans on the face of the earth. Further, he says, one cannot speak in their own language, but to keep quiet and speak the language of silence, which means a lot. One should stay still without even moving the arms to signal, to fight, or to argue with each other. This being the first stanza, let's see what is the poetic device in stanza 1. You see, Now we will count to 12. Not more our arms so much. It is assonance. You see the use of vowel sound. Now, count, not, are, move. You can hear the vowel sounds. So that is why the poetic device here is assonance. Further, moving to stanza 2, it would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Exotic here means a rush. All together meaning united, and strangeness means a new feeling. Look at his hurt hands. It is people who work endlessly will get some time to look at the injuries and damage they have caused to their own body. So the poet says, if everything comes to a standstill, it will be a very different moment. There would be no rush, no engines or machines would make any noise. It would be a strange situation. The world will experience sudden calmness. Further, he says, the whales in the cold sea would not be harmed. Hurting would stop completely for food and trade. Fishermen would calm down, the men who gather salts. The poet wants everyone to stop for a while to see and feel their achievement, how much they have lost for the sake of attaining such materialistic things. People would thus get some time by staying still. Going forward, let's look at the poetic device. It is alliteration here. Going forward, stanza 3. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. I here means the poet himself. Green wars means exploiting green wealth. It is deforestation. Wars of gas means pollution by mining or by releasing chemical waste. A lot of gas has been generated, causing pollution. Wars of fire are the soldiers who are fighting for the victory but with no survivors. Clean clothes adopt a new approach. No survivors means realization of victory. Victory wherein hardly any people have survived. Brothers means enemy, and shade here is brotherhood, peace and unity. The poet asks everyone to stop damaging the environment. Activities leading to letting the chemical waste into rivers, mining, deforestation and wars. He wants all of these men to make some time to introspect the consequences of their action. Victory is not something where no one is left alive. He requests the people not to involve in such activities as wars and environment is just a damage and has no benefit but leads to no life on earth. So he wants people to have a new approach towards life and mankind. He wants people to promote peace and harmony in the world. Moving to the poetic devices in stanza 3, you see assonance. Victory with no survivors would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. Use of vowel sound. Moving forward, wars with, wars with. W word is repeated and clean clothes. You see, C is repeated. So it's an alliteration. The next one being wars, wars and wars. 3 times you have wars repeated, so it is a repetition. So the poetic device in stanza 3 is alliteration, repetition and assonance. Moving to stanza 4, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Single-minded here means concentrating on one's own mind with one aim only, and interrupt something coming in between. Now, the poet says that he is not asking people to be idle and not do anything and become a non-active person. To keep one's life moving, people work endlessly with the aim of completing all their tasks. And with this rush, it indicates that people fear death and want to achieve everything, all the possible things before they die. Then, which might interrupt this sadness without understanding ourselves. That means we are nearing death. So the poet says, it's time to stop and see what has been achieved should be enjoyed. This will help us skip the sadness which has become so prominent in our lives these days. Let's look at the poetic devices in stanza 4. You see, as I have explained earlier, enjambment. This is a kind of a figure of speech wherein the poet uses it to continue a sentence without a pause beyond the end of the line. You see, the poet continues a sentence without a pause, without a punctuation beyond the end of the line or stanza. Why does he do it? He does it to create fluidity or bring prose-like quality to a poetry. He does not want to confine the whole meaning of the poem in one line. Moving to the next stanza, perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. Keep quiet here means calm down and move towards the path of peace and harmony. The poet here says to the people that human beings need to learn a lesson from earth. When everything seems dead, like winter season, which becomes lifeless as everything freezes and later proves to be alive, the season changes to the onset of spring, where everything gets its own life, gets its own charm. Thus he says, by being calm, life is better and peaceful. Quiet means calm down or move towards the path of peace and harmony. I will go. What does the poet mean here? He conveys his message to the people to say that he is going to exit. He wants them to be left alone and be still for a while, to think about it, to work in the direction of peace. So that's the last stanza of the poem, Keeping Quiet. In stanza 5, you will not find any poetic device. The poet in this poem tells us only about how a moment of silence makes us realize our aggressive endeavors. So that was a summary of the poem, Keeping Quiet. I hope you have understood and you will be able to learn as well. Please rewatch the video, pause at times wherever need be, underline or jot down the important points. You must be able to answer any kind of questions that you are asked. So moving forward, what is the message that we get out of this poem? That is, it says, the poet says, he wants the people to be left alone. The poet wants each of us to be left alone for some time. He wants us to think about ourselves in silence. He wants everybody, all of us, to think about ourselves in silence. He wants us to work in the direction of peace. As we move forward, every step that we take during the journey of life, He wants us with a thought that the direction in which we are going should be of peace. He wants us to work in the direction of peace. Lastly, He wants everybody to be calm. He wants everybody to be calm, and that would be better in everyone's life because it would bring us a lot of peace. So to repeat, the poet wants every human who is present in this universe to be in peace, to be left alone for a while, to go in a direction of calmness, and to bring harmony and brotherhood in lifetime. So that being the message, let's move forward to know what are the question and answers. By now, I'm sure all my students out there are very familiar with what are the kind of questions that you can expect from the section poetry. You will have two types of questions, one being extract type and the second one being a short answer. So what is the extract based questions? It is a stanza of a poet is extracted and you are asked questions pertaining to this stanza. And how are you going to answer? Your answers should be related to this para only. You cannot cross this para and pick up the answer from the next stanza. So you have to choose your answer from this paragraph. Now, if you have 3 questions, that means to say you will get 3 marks. Or 4, you will get 4 marks. By that, you need to understand that each questions carry 1 mark. Now, the first question over here, have a look at it. How long does the poet want to stay still? Is it very difficult for you to answer? No, the answer is 12. Going forward, what does he hope to achieve by keeping quiet? Peace and calmness. Next, what does the poet mean by not move our arms so much? What does he mean? That we cannot be creating disturbance. So these are few of your extract based questions. Moving forward, what are your short answer questions? That is for 2 marks. See the first one. Exotic moment in the poem. What is the exotic moment in the poem? That is staying still. Now in the poem, what is sadness? What is the sadness in the poem? You find a lot of sadness, so you can jot out and you have to explain the sudden strangeness. What is that sudden strangeness? It is the feeling when you are silent or when you are in a halt, when you are still. Next, what is the moral of the poem? Keeping quiet protects our environment. How? You can just pick up and write 2 or 3 points for that. And then, what are the effects of life in and around the sea while one is in a still position? How does everything appear? And then, what is the significance of 12? This is an important question. So, these are few of the type 2 questions which you definitely can answer in your own words. But remember, just pick up few words of context from the poem. It will give you more value while you're answering. So that being said, moving forward to conclude, that's it for today. To conclude, I hope I have made you understand the poem Keeping Quiet and you will be able to learn it. That shouldn't stop you here. Please open your textbook and read the poem aloud. Read it aloud so that you will understand better. Read it not once, not twice, but 3 times. That way, you will be able to connect whatever is there in the textbook content to the lesson what is taught today. So, dear children, remember to be a good listener. Being a good listener, you will become a beautiful you. See you in my next session, Reading Comprehension. Until then, all smiles to you. Bye-bye.